Straight ahead on 12 News, no time to slack. We'll meet a group where the rubber often meets the road. Then, another hack job. We'll have the latest on a data breach impacting Cub food stores. But first, an arson investigation.
We're treating it very seriously. We're not taking it lightly. It's not a joke. It's not funny.
What will be a costly fix at a popular Plymouth park? 12 News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. Brand new play equipment was ready for setup in one of Plymouth's most popular parks.
But police say an arsonist struck the Plymouth Creek playground, setting that new equipment on fire.
Our kids come and play here, and we've been here for 12 years in Plymouth, and it's a beautiful park, and it's frustrating to see something like this.
The fire was reported after 2 in the morning. Police say the new play equipment was boxed up and set to be assembled this morning to replace an old playground that had just been taken apart. The new equipment is a total loss estimated at $200,000.
I think it's sad and certainly disrespectful to the community at large. I mean, there's a lot of kids that play in here. You come out here during the day and you see hundreds of kids on this playground. It's well loved by the community.
We want to make sure we're treating it very seriously. We're not taking it lightly. It's not a joke. It's not funny.
The State Fire Marshal's office is helping with the investigation, and if you have any information about who may be responsible, you are asked to call the Plymouth Police tip line. That number is 509-5177. The parent company of Cub Foods, Supervalu, became the latest retailer to suffer a major data breach.
The company is investigating a broad hacking scheme on its system for processing payments. 12 News reporter Carissa Wyant has more.
Yeah, I check online regularly to see if there's any activity that doesn't look right.
It's a big mess when someone gets into your personal information.
Cub Foods shoppers have good reason to be concerned. Supervalu, the parent company of Cub Foods, is the latest victim of a data breach.
Well, you'd hope they'd have extra security on their computer systems, but apparently not enough.
Today, Supervalu said hackers accessed shoppers' names, credit or debit card numbers, and other information.
It can happen to anybody.
8 stores in the Northwest Metro were hit. Questions are still out there about how the hackers got the information and how it's going to affect consumers. And consumers have a lot of questions about how to protect themselves moving forward.
Account, last name, first name.
Mark Lanterman, a computer forensics expert, says stolen credit card information can be very lucrative on the black market.
That's what track data is. That's what people are stealing. That's what it looks like. So people are stealing this, selling it, and bad guys are buying it.
Lanterman says there's one surefire way shoppers can prevent their information from getting into hackers' hands.
I recommend cash.
But not everyone is comfortable carrying cash.
It's dangerous to carry cash. Okay, and number 2, carrying cash, you may spend it, without thinking about it for other reasons that you don't need to spend.
Still, as attacks like the one to hit Supervalu continue, consumers will need to take action to protect themselves.
If you have used a card, a credit card, a debit card at one of these organizations that are reporting breaches, take responsibility for your own security and cancel the card.
Carissa Wyant, 12 News.
The data breach happened sometime between June 22nd and July 17th. And Supervalu says so far there are no reports of misused stolen data.
Heads up for drivers in Plymouth this weekend. Starting at 10 tonight, Friday night, northbound 494 will be down to just one lane between Rockford Road and Schmidt Lake Road, and it will stay that way all weekend long. The lane closure is part of the long-awaited 494 widening project. It will reopen by 5 a.m. Monday morning.
Once home to rum runners and other problem nightclubs, a picturesque site along the Mississippi River is now closer to becoming a place where couples can say, "I do." A wedding event center is planned along West River Road in Brooklyn Park. The land was purchased by pro hockey star and Armstrong grad Jordan Leopold and his wife Jamie in 2011. Their vision is to build a wedding event center called Leopold's Mississippi Gardens.
The main thrust is for weddings and receptions, and so that they can all be in one. So you can actually have your wedding there. So you could even have it down by the river, outside. There's a deck too. You can have it on a deck or inside as well during the winter or something.
The Brooklyn Park City Council still needs to give its final approval. The hope is to break ground on the project this fall.
If you are looking to try a new sport, there is now lawn bowling in Golden Valley. Brookview Golf Course opened up 8 lawn bowling rinks on a site that used to be a muddy parking lot. Lawn bowling is a cross between bocce ball and curling. The course here is one of the few in Minnesota.
It's big in Arizona and Colorado, and Milwaukee has a pretty big facility. So the word is out, and people have been contacting us, excited that somewhere now in the Midwest is, and in Minnesota here is adding a facility such as what we've done here.
The grand opening runs through Sunday and is free. League play starts on Tuesday. What started as a simple picnic is now a jam-packed weekend event.
Corn Fest butters up to hundreds of people every year at the Church of St. Gerard, and Eric Nelson is live in Brooklyn Park where a feeding frenzy is about to get underway. Eric?
Yes, Alex and Mike, we are all children of the corn this weekend. That's because Corn Fest 44 is about to begin. So if you're coming out to this event, bring your appetite. And joining us now from St. Gerard's Church is Craig Erickson, and this is quite the happening, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been 44 years we've been doing this, and we do it for the community. It doesn't have to be you don't have to be a member of the parish. So that's the biggest thing. We have no admission charge, free music, and we want you to enjoy all the food, the festivities, something for everyone. We have little kids games, we have teen games, we have the Euro bungee jump, which is always a big hit with the kids, and of course there's the corn, and a lot of it dipped in real butter. It's not watered down. And all the buttered corn you want. It's a Buccaneer, and it's locally grown up in Elk River, so it's excellent. And we've seen it already. It's already chucked. So come on out. There's lots for everybody. We have all the good carnival food, and again, live music every night. We have the backyard band tomorrow night, and tonight we have, I always forget this one.
Orange Whip is tonight.
Yeah, we have so many bands. I always have a hard time. Sorry about that. But we have Orange Whip, and everybody enjoys those things. And again, that's free. And the beauty of it, too, is we fence in the entire ground. So if you want to have a beer and have it with your meal, go right ahead. You can walk around with it. We just ask that you can't leave the grounds with it, but you can have it with everything you want. So
All right.
Come on out.
Craig, thanks so much. I know Mike and Alex, you guys probably don't have plans yet, so stop by. Behind me is the bungee jump. You can check it out and also have some of that sweet corn coated with butter. Live in Brooklyn Park, I'm Eric Nelson, Channel 12 News.
We have an appetite for corn. All right, thanks, Eric. Still ahead, 1 month, 100 miles. Meet the dedicated group of runners closing in on an ambitious goal.
And then a little bit later in sports, why the Champlin Park volleyball team is a top contender this fall.
But first, a sunny, rain-free weekend on tap. Look for highs to surge into the 80s.
Welcome back. A group of Robbinsdale runners have an ambitious goal: run 100 miles by the end of August.
Completing the challenge would not only be a physical feat, it's inspiring them in other areas of their lives as well. Here's Sonia Goins.
If I run in the morning all day, I have more energy, I'm in a better mood, I just feel happy, I'm calmer, I'm a better mom, I'm a better wife.
Chris Murphy is an avid runner.
These are my Brooks, I can't live without my Brooks.
She started the challenge with a small group of her friends.
I emailed about 5 of my friends and I said, I need some motivation, how about we try to run 100 miles in August?
Word quickly spread on the Birdtown Facebook page.
It reaches so many different people in the city.
And the group grew to 60 participants.
Leslie Anderson.
Dustin Glad.
Nolan Murphy.
Leah Menyat.
Some of the runners are beginners, but that's not stopping them from keeping pace.
It's been getting me out early in the morning, do a little run, and then having enough energy to get through the day.
While others are hitting the pavement to step up their game.
Truthfully, I haven't been running a lot lately, so every day I've been running a little more, so it's challenging to me, I guess, yes.
100 miles in a month is hard work. You'd have to run more than 20 miles each week to reach goal.
There are days when I am out running and I am almost counting my steps to get to the end of my run.
Some runners are doing whatever it takes to make it.
Work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard.
Leah Menya ran 68 times around her house.
My neighbors probably think I'm crazy, but I was determined to hit 50 miles.
The group even has their very own secret sign.
As you're passing a runner, if you see someone, you give them a peace sign, and if they give it back to you, you know they're part of the Run 100.
100. Birdtown, V, fly like a birds fly in a V or something. Yeah.
Runners post sweaty selfies on Facebook after they've completed a run.
I laid down in the grass and collapsed, not really, but in a fun way.
I just made sure that I was good and sweaty and got the right angle.
I gave a little. I hit it.
You see somebody else post their picture, you're like, oh man, I gotta get out there.
Everybody's out to make Robbinsdale great and just prove that it really is better in Birdtown.
The challenge isn't about going the distance, but getting out of the starting blocks to lead a better life.
Well, I hope they make it a habit, not necessarily to run 100 miles every month, but to continue exercising.
And if you're extra motivated, there's still time to get in on the challenge. If you started today, you would have to run 6 miles each day until the end of the month. Got your running shoes?
I like the
right,
secret
exactly.
sign.
Coming up, an art exhibit that goes well beyond Minnesota nice.
But first, we pay a visit to Providence Academy for today's football training camp report. John Jacobson is in next with sports.
School has not started yet, but fall sports well underway, and we're not just talking about football here.
No, volleyball. Champlin Park, a team coming off a good year and hoping to continue that this fall. The Champlin Park volleyball team should be strong again this season, following a 2013 campaign that saw the Rebels fall 1 win short of the state tournament. Here's Jason Malillo with a preview.
Champlin Park lost 2 of its best hitters to graduation, but the Rebels have a lot of good players back and will look to build on last year's success.
I think we'll be good at pretty much everything. I mean, we're a strong team. We practice ball control a lot. And it's really showing throughout the practices and the open gyms.
Sydney Hilly will run the Rebels offense again. The sophomore setter is one of the best players in the state, and she'll be counted on to continue becoming a more versatile weapon.
She had never hit until last fall. She'd always been a setter in her career, and we just said we need you to hit and set as well, and that's going to continue this year. And early in the year she did well, but there was some things like I just haven't hit before. You could tell some things and maybe some mistakes or some nervousness. And as the season progressed, her confidence built. I mean, taking the big swings in the section semifinal match.
I'm playing outside in the front row again and then setting from the back row, but it's a team sport. You got to have all the players around you to do something, so.
The always tough Northwest Suburban Conference grows to 14 teams this fall with the addition of Irondale, Spring Lake Park, and Totino Grace. That means there won't be a whole lot of easy nights for the Rebels, but they're excited for the challenge. Jason Malillo, 12 Sports.
Champlin Park opens the season on Saturday, August 23rd at the first ever Breakdown Side-Out Classic at Hopkins High School. The Rebels will face Roseville at 9 a.m. The Providence Academy football team moves to a new conference this fall, and by season's end, the Lions hope to have a new home field too. Here's today's prep football training camp report.
It's a little easier the second time around. Derek Ashe took over as the head coach for Providence before last season. And with the veteran team returning, it's even better.
We've learned a lot as coaches. Players have learned a lot. We're in a different place this year, more efficient, more repetitions. We really worked hard in the off season to get stronger, to get faster in our various programs. So it's been a real good experience here coming in the second year. We feel real good about where we're at today.
The Lions bring back almost everyone, 10 starters on offense and 10 on defense. Among the returnees are quarterback Henry Van Dellen, running back linebacker Ryan Richardson, guard and linebacker Ryan Ilatola, brothers Trent and Trey Weebush, who are also 2A starters, plus speedy running back and D-back Connor White. This should be a team that competes well in the new independent Metro Athletic Conference with Breck, Blake, plus Minnehaha, St. Paul, and Mounds Park academies.
I mean, we've played most of these schools before, and I know we'll be playing a couple of teams twice this year. I think it'll just be good to have that kind of familiarity with going into a new conference, knowing the other teams.
Yeah, we're really excited. Well, we're, again, 13 seniors on this team, a lot of returning starters, and we're really hopeful of a really good year this year, and we're just plain excited.
Crews are busy working on the new turf field stadium at the school, which will also include a track and more bleachers. But weather delays this spring put the project behind. The Lions are just hoping to get on the field by season's end.
It's exciting. We're super happy with having a new facility. It's going to be great when it's done. They're going like crazy, a lot of big equipment, a lot of movement over there. So we're staying positive, and we're hoping to be on that by the end of the season.
Here's a capsule look at Providence. The team was 4-5 a year ago. Eric Ashe's veteran team makes the nearly 300-mile trip to Crookston to face the Pirates for their season opener during 0 week on August 23rd. You can catch Providence along with local teams Brooklyn Center and Park Center in sort of a dress rehearsal for the season Saturday. Brooklyn Center hosts the 4-team scrimmage Saturday starting at 9 a.m. on the Centaurs Jim Norwick Field. All the teams involved have a 0 week game, so they're scrimmaging a week earlier than usual. Brooklyn Center and Park Center will meet in the final scrimmage. And that's a look at sports for today.
All right, thanks a lot, John. Still ahead, it's eye-catching and thought-provoking.
We head to Maple Grove next for an art exhibit that goes beyond Minnesota nice. Minnesota is known for walleye, winter, and of course wood ticks.
We are also known for Minnesota nice. But in Weekend Showcase, Neil Pursley takes us to Maple Grove, where a new art exhibit proves there's more layers to Minnesota than that.
Tucked in between the shops at the far north end of Main Street is the Maple Grove Arts Center. There you'll find something that goes beyond Minnesota nice.
We've asked artists to give us their best representation of their image of Minnesota.
20 artists are part of a show that enlightens us about Minnesota beyond the Lefse and the lakes.
The theme of this show is Our Minnesota and Beyond Minnesota Nice. The Beyond Minnesota Nice doesn't mean nice in a negative way. It means that we're reaching out to states beyond Minnesota to join us in this show.
Among the local artists featured is Christina Hinkins of Maple Grove.
2 boys with fish, and fishing is popular in Minnesota.
And Maple Grove artist and architect Bill Beaupre.
Does watercolor. He also teaches watercolor here at the Art Center, and he has shown scenes of outdoors and lighthouses and such.
And then there's the photography of Robbinsdale native Matthew Scherfenberg.
He does nudes your grandmother would approve of, and they're beautiful, and he's a painter of light with the camera.
So when someone tells you about Minnesota nice, this artwork will point out there's a lot more to us than that.
The art that was selected is the premier artist in Minnesota, and you don't see a lot of this at art fairs or anything. This is really fine quality artwork, and if they're looking for that unique piece for their own home, this is the place to come for that.
For Weekend Showcase, I'm Neil Pursley.
The show runs through August 30th, and tonight from 6 to 9, there's an official opening reception featuring Minnesotan, yes, hors d'oeuvres, which we don't know what it is, maybe Lefse, who knows?
Out,
yeah. That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Have a great weekend, everyone. Community Corner is coming up next.